Hello guys, I am back. My name is Itzel, and if you're new to my channel and this is the first video that you watch that I've made, like I've said in the last video, I talked about probably making a video about migraines. So I have had migraines for a while, ever since I was 12 years old, and I just wanted to give a little bit information about it. I wanted to give you guys some tips, some things that I use that really help, and is not technically medicine. Sometimes it does have to be medicine because they're that like painful, but other than that, I have things that can just help you out throughout the day. Um, the first thing is that I do want to say that I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give you any medical advice or anything like that. This is just my personal view. This is my personal experiences. So I just wanted to let you guys know that what works for me may not work for you. That type of stuff. Sorry. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to let you guys know. Now, migraines, it's pretty much a headache disease. So, what it does to you, I mean, not headache disease, headache disorder. I'm sorry. What it does to you is that it gives you symptoms like nausea, vomiting, sensitivity to light, sound, and smell. And they can go from being very like severe to pretty much just like a headache. I mean, there's sometimes that it can send you to the hospital just because they're that intense. It has happened to me. It has happened to people that I know. So, that's pretty much one of the things that I just want to let you know. It is a disorder, and it can be a chronic disorder, meaning that you can have it for a really long time. So, yeah. Now that I told you a little bit about them, I'm just going to tell you my experience and how I found out that I had them. So I believe that my first headache was whenever I was 12 years old. I remember I was just in pain. So how it happened, how I got it, is really something that I do not remember, that I cannot recall. But I remember I was just in pain. I was throwing up. I had fever. I could not get up out of my bed. So it was something that it was really bad. My mom was worried, and my dad, I believe he was working at the time, but my mom was really worried. She didn't know what to do. She gave me medicine. It didn't work. I took a shower. It didn't work. Everything was just so intense for me that day. And that's all I remember. I just remember I was 12, that it was intense, and that I could not get out of bed. Now, with that being said, after that time, that first time that I had that headache, I kept having those headaches throughout my whole childhood, but they were not as intense, and they were just smaller headaches, and I thought it was just the sun. I thought so many things, and I was like, maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Well, one day, my dad was, he got home from work, and he had like a huge headache, and so he was like, just feeling so sick. I remember seeing him. He looked really bad. And then I was like, well, what's wrong with him? And my mom was like, oh, he has a migraine. I was like, okay, well, what's a migraine? And I mean, she explained it to me in a way, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, after a while, it was like a really long time that I did not have any headaches. Whenever I was around 14 or 15, it's whenever, computers, cell phones, and all that stuff were happening for me. I had access to computers. I don't believe I had access to a phone yet. That was till I was 16. But I had access to computers, and so I Googled migraine, and I found out what it was. So after that, I was like, oh, goodness, I have migraines. And I started seeing that all the symptoms on there were exactly like mine. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is going to stick with me for a while. So I knew that it was going to be something that I was going to be dealing with for the rest of my life. And after that, I turned, I think it was like 16. I still kept having headaches. It was like a normal thing in my life now. But I kind of knew how to deal with them, not fully. One thing that I do need to mention is that my dad does have migraines almost every week, just like I do. And my family, my aunts and uncles, some of them do have migraines as well. So it comes from, you know, family. And I think that that's a big part of it. That if your parents have it, you most likely are going to have them. And so after that, I grew older and I kept having them and having them. And there was, I think I was 20 or 21. And I remember I had a huge migraine. It lasted for about 3 days and it would not go away. I tried medicine. I tried about everything in the book that I could read and find out, and it would not go away. I ended up going to the emergency room. And in the emergency room, they gave me something for pain. And it was intense. I mean, like I felt super up there, and it did not go away. So it was intense to the point that I was crying. It was just bad. I was crying. I could not fall asleep. And I remember my boyfriend being really scared because he was with me, and he was like, "Whoa, like they gave you this for pain, and it's supposed to help you with the pain, and it's still not helping." They did an MRI, and everything was fine. So it was just the biggest migraine I ever had in my whole entire life. That one was like the highlight of everything, and that's how I started, doing things that would help me a little bit more. Now, I remember that I worked with somebody at school, and they told me something about essential oils. So I was like, "Oh, what's essential oils? What are they going to do for me?" And they told me that they were for different things. Some of them were for you to prevent for you to get sick. Some of them were for you to feel relaxed, not be too stressed, and things like that. So whenever I found out that it was like going to be helpful for me, I decided to try them out. And I started with lavender. The lavender essential oil was okay. I mean, I could not stand the smell because it was so strong, and that would actually cause me headaches. So it was kind of weird because that's one of the things that if you look it up, lavender is a really, really, really good scent for you to whenever you have migraines, and it did not help me out. So I was like, great, scratch that out of my list, and I moved on. So I did start. I bought essential oils, and the ones that I use are the Now essential oils. Let me see if you can see them. There you go. So it's the Now essential oils. I bought a lemon one. I bought orange one. I bought an eucalyptus one. And then the one that is like my holy grail is the peppermint oil. Here you go. So the peppermint oil is the one that I highly recommend. This really has helped me through so much in my headache, migraine history. I mean, it's just wonderful. So this is one of the tips that I really want to just tell you about. This, I actually carry this bottle in my purse. And everywhere I go, they know me for the peppermint smell. And that's because I use it all the time. So the way that I started was that I had a migraine, and like I said, I knew somebody at work, and that person told me to go ahead and try peppermint. And I was like, well, what is that going to do to me? I wanted to know more about it, and I wanted her to explain to me what it was going to do to me. And so she was like, well, it relaxes your muscles. The scent is so refreshing that it just makes you think about the scent and not really your headache. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and buy a bottle. So I went to the GNC and I bought a bottle, and it worked amazing. So the first time that I ever tried it, I was having the symptoms for a headache. I was feeling dizzy, I was feeling nauseous, and I was getting that little pain in the side of my head. So for migraines, that's another thing that I skipped. For migraines, is usually one side only that really, really hurts. So if you think that you have headaches, but it's just on one side, it's most likely going to be a migraine. So it can start from the back and it goes all the way to your front, or it can start in the corner of your eye and just kind of expand. For me, it usually just kind of like starts here and it starts expanding. And then you can feel the pulse. Like it's a really, really like intense pulse. So what I did is that I grab this, and usually, just let me tell you this before I start. If you use the peppermint oil, peppermint oil, a lot of people like to dilute it just because it is really strong. So, I mean, if you're not careful with this, I will tell you that if you put it close to your eye or if you get it inside your eye, it's going to burn. For me, because my headaches are so intense, I really don't like I put it as close as I can, and it does burn. But it's not a big thing for me. Like I rather have the headache go away than feeling that little tiny burn here. So I use it without diluting it, but a lot of people do it just because they cannot stand that burning sensation, and I actually want to have the burning sensation so that I can feel a little bit more not focus so much on the headache. So what I do is that I open it obviously, and I put a little drop, and so I have a little drop in the back of my hand, and I grab a little bit with my finger, and I rub it in my temples. So I do that, and then I do that on this side. And then after that, I grab a little bit more and I put it in the back of my head. So like in the middle, under your hairline, that's where I put it. And then I go like this and go tap tap under my nose. And then usually when my headache is really bad, I put it close to my eye. But I am not going to do that right now because it's not bad. And the leftover one, I just rub it in my wrist. So with that, you feel the freshness right away. And I don't know what it does to my head, but it just makes the headache go away, which is wonderful. It's amazing. I love it. I've asked my dad to try it. So whenever he has really intense headaches, he tries it and it helps him out. It does burn him. So that's the one thing that I'm like, that's why I'm telling you, if you cannot handle like the little burn that he has whenever you put it on, make sure to dilute it. A lot of people say to use grapeseed oil. Oh, grapeseed oil, sorry. And that one works fine. So you can just put a drop of grapeseed oil and then the peppermint, and that's great. Now, whenever that, you can do it before the headache or while the headache is going on. The migraine, not the headache. And now, if your migraine is already intense and you just kind of want to have like a real relief of a migraine, what I do or what I have done before when I had like a really intense migraine is that I pretty much get in the tub. So I get in the tub with really warm water. And these are also my amazing products that I have that I'm never gonna let go of just because they help me so much. So I use Dr. Teal's, and I use the pure Epsom salt, and I use the eucalyptus one because it relaxes and relieves. That's what it says, and it does exactly what it says. I mean, this is such a nice smell that all these like nice, refreshing smells just help your headache out. And I put this in the bathtub, and I just relax, and it really helps. It's not gonna take away the headache like completely, but it is going to help you relax, and it's going to give you that relaxation that you can probably just fall asleep after you get out. So another thing, if you don't want to do the bathtub and you just want to take a shower, I usually just take a shower with semi cold water. So I don't do it too hot and I don't do it too cold. I just do it lukewarm water. There you go. And I use this one. So I use the body wash, and it's Dr. Teal's, and it's the eucalyptus too. And what I do with this one is that I do 2 pumps. I rub it in my hands, and then I know it's body wash, but I use it for my head. So I do this whole side of my head, and I rub and rub and scrub and scrub. And I just do it for like 5 minutes, and I'm constantly just kind of rubbing in my temples. That's where I'm doing it. And then I do it in my back to relax my muscles, and it works perfectly fine. Usually when my headaches are really intense though, I use this, And then when I get out, I take some Excedrin. And I am gonna tell you that the thing about Excedrin is that I do not use the Excedrin migraine no more. I used to use those, and then I finally got to see my doctor, and my doctor told me that it was a really bad idea for me to use that. Just because you really do come really they become something that you want to have every single time, and that's not good. So that's another story for another time. But I don't use that anymore. What I use is the Excedrin, but I use the extra strength. It's almost the same thing. I think it's just the same thing as the migraine. But the thing is that these you only have to use them whenever your headaches are like intense. If you feel like a headache is coming or a migraine is coming, sorry, you don't go ahead and take this. You wait till like it's going to be intense. Like you feel like it's. I mean, you're gonna feel your migraines and you're gonna know yourself. And you only use it whenever they're really intense, and not I feel like I really want to just throw up all over the place. Um, is when I use this. So, like I said, I do not recommend for you to use it all the time, just because they're not gonna work anymore on you if you use it all the time. So just use it whenever you feel like you need it. Um, and then another thing that I use whenever I get out of the shower is that, and some people are gonna laugh because I am from a Hispanic family, so it's funny because we use a lot of Vicks for everything, and it's not really a joke. Like we use Vicks for everything, and Vicks has been something that has helped me a lot with migraines as well. So what I do is the same thing I do with the peppermint. I put it in my temples, I put it in the back of my head, and I put it under my nose. And it really helps, guys. Like it makes just the headache calm down. It relaxes me enough for me to be able to go to sleep and stay asleep. Because with migraines, you're gonna know that if you go to sleep and you did not do something to calm it, you're not gonna be able to go to sleep all night. You're gonna wake up, your head is gonna be worse, and then that's just gonna go on for the rest of the night. So I do this, and I do the peppermint. So now, just to really wrap up, the way that I do things is that I usually mainly, and I'm gonna say it like as many times as I have to, I only use the peppermint oil most of the time, because this is the one that just kind of relaxes you. And even if you are like tired and you have to go to class, you have to go to work, this is going to help you. This has helped me in so many ways. So I know that if I have test anxiety. So if I was gonna take a test when I was taking classes in school, I would just put it in my temples and my nose, and then I would feel relaxed, and I felt like I was awake and ready to take the test. Now it didn't work all the time, just saying, because um, I suck at taking tests, but it was just something that helps me a lot, and I really, really hope that this video helps you guys. If you have migraines, if you have headaches, if you feel like you need a little bit of help waking up, or just anything. I mean, this really, really helps, and it really, really works. And I just wanted to let everyone know. So, and again, this is how I just do things. I am not saying it's gonna fully work for you, but I'm saying that it might. And so, because it worked for me, I just really wanted to let you guys know and let you know that there's something that can help you out there that is not medicine. And if you do have to use medicine, I recommend this, not the migraine one. And another thing is that I was taking medicine before, and it was the medicine that I had to take every single day. And I was going to have to take it for the rest of my life. And when it was done, I could not afford to get it again because it was so expensive. And so that's when I decided to start this and to try out the peppermint oil and Dr. Teal's and the Vicks and everything. This, and I forgot to mention, you can actually use the oils for with a diffuser, and that's what I do. Usually, if I want to go to sleep and I feel like I can't, I do use the lavender on there. It's not as strong, but I use it with eucalyptus. Now, I do have many ways to use essential oils, and I will make another video just because I really want to make sure that I say everything that I know and that I'm helping somebody out. So, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Comment, like, share, keep just watch my videos. I will be doing a lot of them, and sorry that I took so long to make this one, but I haven't been able to get the camera or the lighting or anything, so I am just doing it like this, and I'm not gonna edit the video just because I want to just put it out already. So if you like my video, like I said, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.